Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Chris, the podcast in which I share my life with you and address any questions or concerns that you might have. I'll also discuss the topics that you're interested in, so make sure to leave a comment down below if there's anything you want me to talk about, and I'll get right to it. I try to make an episode every single day, though some days I won't be able to. Today, however, is not one of those days, even though today is actually my birthday. So I'm taking time out of my life, not just out of my life in general, but even out of my one day a year special day, so to speak, in order to do this, in order to talk to you guys, in order to bring this into the world, even though no one is currently listening. I quite enjoy doing this, and I will be here for as long as I feel for it, to be honest. I've talked about it before. I'll probably stick around for a few years, and if I've got 0 subscribers at that point, yeah, I'm just gonna give it up at that point, because I've got other stuff to tend to. I've got other stuff to tend to today as well, but today is not the day that I stop doing this podcast. I've barely just begun. Now, some of the things that I have to tend to today are very special to me. And you may think, did he really save all of this for his birthday? And to that, I answer no. I technically didn't. I just so happened to be born on the 1st of the month. And this was actually a decision that was made approximately 3 weeks ago. I decided that I was going to rebrand myself. And so the thing is, I've been trying to start a company. I'm an app developer and a few other things. Currently educating myself as a multimedia designer too. And I want to create something. And for that I need a name for myself, basically. And I realized when I was making my professional portfolio as part of a school project, because we call it a presentation portfolio more than a professional portfolio. Because we're not yet considered professionals. Anyway, the thing that I realized was that the domain that I picked for school was just a for fun domain. It's literally the Danish word for penguin and then .design. Very silly. I just needed a domain. Now, I do have another domain that I was planning on using professionally. But a while back, I realized that domain locked me in as only really being able to do one thing. So I needed something more common. And one of the improvements that we have to do, because I handed in my assignment 2 days ago, my exam project, but we still have to improve upon it in the coming 2 weeks. One of my improvements is going to be a new domain. And so in relation to that, or rather because I realized that I need a better domain for this, I thought to myself, okay, it's time to really think. And I dug down deep and I found some old stuff, really. It started out kind of like a joke, but not really a joke. It was an old buddy of mine. We studied web development together. We decided to name a company this if we ever created one. And I'm going to respect that wish. I'm going to respect that decision because it actually works and there are a lot of domains available, like a lot of domain endings. And so, yeah, today is the day that I completely rebrand. That means setting up new email accounts, new developer accounts, new pretty much everything, to be honest. And it kind of sucks to have to do that. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to be a great opportunity for me to start fresh. Like really start fresh. And to get the motivation to work. Because I'm very motivated to do this thing now. And today's the first day of the work. I have been doing some preliminary work. But I decided that the 1st of the month was going to be the place to start, especially due to economic reasons. I prefer to be billed for things at the beginning of the month rather than at the end of the month, or the middle for that matter. I just find it easier because I can always count on the amount of money that's in my bank account. There are a few days every month where I can't count on it. And of course, I know what I'm spending. It's more so I don't want to have to consider when I look at my numbers. Did this one get covered? Did this one get covered? All those kinds of things. And so, yeah, I was going to do this on the 1st of the month, and that's today. I'm very excited. I'm also very nervous because there's that obvious feeling of, did I make the right choice? Is this domain the right choice? Well, I think it is. And I think this rebranding is going to do a lot for me. And so, yeah, like I said, I'm very excited. I'm also very nervous. I'm going to start doing it slowly, but I am going to do most of it today. Though I'm kind of thinking that I don't really need all of the domains today. But then again, I might as well just buy them in bulk. Because I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. But at the same time, there are some of them that are just straight up more important. And for example, there's one of them that I know I won't need until at least a few months from now. But it's still nice to have. It's nice to have set up. To have an email set up for it, for example. And so, yeah, I don't really know where I stand on that one. I think I'm just going to buy them all, but at the same time, I'm going to be looking at the price for that. Because domains are paid yearly, to those of you who don't know. And so, they aren't actually that expensive. Domain names aren't super expensive. You get them really cheap most of the time. And okay, so that's most of the time. There are some premium domains, but that's a whole other ball game. Most domains cost you anywhere from $10 to $30, depending on the domain, and that's for a year. So super, super cheap. But in total, this is going to be like $100, just a one-time payment right now, today. And on top of that, there's the email costs, and there's these costs and those costs. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that you've got to set up. And so, yeah, it's a bit of money to have to put out today. And that's not a lot of fun, given that it's my birthday. You know, like, yay, it's my birthday, I need to pay money. I'm supposed to receive gifts. Nah, I'm most likely going to get some money from maybe like my grandparents or something. And that money is going to go towards this. I'm not going to tell them because I mess around a lot as a kid. Okay, let's be honest about this, right? As a child, I was not dedicated to anything. I really messed around. I wasted a lot of time, got in a lot of fights, did a lot of stupid stuff. I was a bad kid. And that obviously labeled me as the black sheep of the family. Unfortunately, labels like these are really difficult to shake. So when I finally went back to high school, my grandpa, the bad one, I've got, two, he told me that he would bet $200 that I wouldn't complete my first year of high school. And if I get a job, my family is just gonna wait for me to get fired and those kinds of things. And so I don't want to tell them that I'm doing this because they'll just expect me to fail. And if they expect me to fail, then that raises the likelihood of me failing, because we tend to live up to people's expectations. Not necessarily consciously, but yeah. If you are expected to be an asshole, you'll often act like an asshole. And when they expect me to fail, it increases my chances of failure. But I'm not here to fail. I've wasted a lot of time, money, energy, resources, anything. I'll waste a little more, but I've got a direction. And believe me when I tell you that 3 months from now, I will be in a very different spot in life. It's not like I'm going to be rich overnight or anything, but I've already got a prototype of the product that I've been using together with my girlfriend for the past 6 months. It works. What I've built works, but I need to make it better. I need to make it prettier. I need to make it more marketable. And that's what I'm going to use my design skills for. I know what I'm doing now more than I did half a year ago. And I can do this. That's why I'm going to reboot. That's why I'm going to program this thing from the bottom up. And I'm going to do a lot of things manually this time. Or not manually, but by myself, on my own. Off my own, I don't know. You know what I mean. I'm going to make it myself. Because before for example, notifications. For notifications, I pull in a package that allows me to handle notifications. But this thing is not how I want it to be. It can't do the things I want it to do. And then the truth of the matter becomes that I might as well just straight up do it on my own. Because I can do it on my own. It just takes a little while longer. But it also gives me more knowledge, more skill. Develops my capabilities. And eventually I'll be able to release the things that I make as packages. And I might end up becoming a popular package developer. Who knows? And so I'm also going to develop for multiple screen sizes right off the bat this time. Before, I made it as a mobile app first and then tried to turn it into something that was available on desktop. That didn't work out well. So I'm going to design it for mobile. I'm going to design it for desktop. I'm going to design it for tablets. And then, I'm going to make it. Somehow. And that's the thing. It's going to take a lot longer to get basic functionality in there. But the truth is that when you have the designs ready, I used to do this based off of a hunch. I knew what I wanted it to look like somewhat, and then I tried to build that, and then I'd play around with the sizes. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to do it the same way I did my website. I'm going to build everything, basically. Get everything ready, and then I'll code it. Because that way I can code it in a day. I'm not going to be coding an entire app in a day, don't get me wrong, but that's what I did with the website. Admittedly, it's a very simple website, and I did take a few more days where I fiddled around with stuff, but in total I worked maybe 8 hours on it. And that's what I'm going to do with the app as well. I'm going to develop it for multiple screen sizes, multiple platforms all at once, get it ready, and then I'll program it. Once I know what it's going to look like, once I know what it's going to feel like, where things are going to be placed, and all of those things, I'll just build it in the end. And that way, I will be able to release it much more quickly from the date where I start programming it. But the first step, before I start programming, before I start designing, well, like I said, I already have a color palette, because I actually stumbled upon that kind of accidentally. Anyway, I've got a color palette that I want to use, but there's a lot of things that I need to get into place before I can start designing the app. And one of those is to set up my new domains, to set up my new emails, to start over, and to dedicate myself to this fully, because I am dedicated to it, and I'm fully dedicated to it. I will complete this, and it may not make me a millionaire, but it will make me a developer, a true developer, and I'm gonna release it, and I will get users. People will use this app. I have faith in that. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I think I'm going to keep this episode relatively short. And so this will be where I leave you. Thank you for listening. Please do leave a comment down below wishing me a happy birthday. Even if it's a belated one, that would be really nice. It would definitely make my day. At least a little bit. And also like the video, subscribe to the channel, even if you aren't really going to listen to it, just to help me out, to make me feel good, I guess. Yeah, do all of those nice YouTube things. And in the meantime, it's time for me to sign off. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye now.